House of the Dragon Episode 3 out now on HBO Max and Disney+ Hotstar is occupied with male privilege and marriage proposals for the most part, while Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen Millie Alcock spent a bulk of the 2D episode asserting herself a literal 2-year-old is now overshadowing the heir. It's Prince Aegon, the first baby of King Viserys Paddy Considine and now Queen Alicent Hightower Emily Carey, who's pregnant with a second. Given the boy's age, you can inform it's been roughly 3 years on account that Episode 2 a feast and a hunt have been organized in Aegon's honor, which is right for the audience as the Game of Thrones prequel collection eventually leaves King's Landing for almost a full episode. We solely get some distance as the Kingswood even though, and it feels good. This offers House of the Dragon Episode 3 the chance to craft a mini getaway for two characters, Rhaenyra and her bodyguard Sir Criston Cole Fabian Frankel, as the crossed princess runs into the Kingswood. This was arguably the great section of Game of Thrones, as characters at times with polar opposite views paired up for sudden journeys. Rhaenyra is no longer okay with the interest being poured on Aegon, particularly due to the fact, like all of us else, she expects her father to name the toddler the new heir, as he is the firstborn son. Even the Episode 3 title belongs to him, second of his name. A gender-neutral naming might have been smarter in my opinion, as it would have signaled how Rhaenyra feels proper now. She might be first in line to the Iron Throne, but there may be a feeling around courtroom that Aegon now has the better declare. Actually, because he has a penis, and for Rhaenyra it is a triple blow of sorts. She hasn't just lost her maintain on the crown, however. Additionally, Alicent and her father Viserys and Rhaenyra haven't seen eye to eye ever, in view that he married her first-rate buddy. I mean, that makes experience, and that hole similarly widens on House of the Dragon Episode 3 after she learns that the king is also shopping her around. Also see House of the Dragon review. Game of Thrones prequel is a thing of beauty. Jefferson Hall as Jason Lannister, Millie Alcock as Rhaenyra Targaryen in House of the Dragon Episode 3. Photo credit Ollie Upton, HBO. You need to marry, Viserys shouts at her daughter in the front of all of us on House of the Dragon Episode 3 soon after Rhaenyra discovers that the boastful and self-serious buffoon Jason Lannister Jefferson Hall, he is the Lord of Casterly Rock, but they do not maintain as an awful lot strength in this era as the Lannisters we've got recognized from Game of Thrones was once only attractive her in conversation because he desires to take her as his lady wife. That in mixture with the rest is enough to ship Rhaenyra into the woods, while the first inspiration was sanctioned by using the king himself, the hand of the king Sir Otto Hightower. Rhys Evans is daring ample to present the 2D on House of the Dragon Episode 3. Otto tells Viserys that he should get Rhaenyra married to Prince Aegon the Babe. While this would possibly seem extraordinary given they are step-siblings, marrying within your family was once exceedingly frequent for the Targaryens, as it was royals of historical in our world. It was once accomplished in the title of retaining the purity of their blood, but the sheer age difference Aegon is 2. While Rhaenyra is 17 is ample to ship Viserys into matches of laughter. Otto truly has ulterior motives, as that would make his grandson king regent or even king, and hence when a third marriage suggestion comes from Viserys, Master of Laws and Lord of Harrenhal, Lord Lionel Strong Gavin Spokes. The fed-up Viserys believes he's in it for himself too. Let me guess, you are going to propose Rhaenyra marry your own son, the king says in as many phrases on House of the Dragon Episode 3. But turns out that is not the case. Lionel proposes that Rhaenyra be paired with Sir Laenor Velaryon. Theonate, the son of Princess Rhinus, the queen who never was, and Lord Corlys, sea snake, Velaryon, who's temporarily considered when we shift to the Stepstones in House of the Dragon Episode 3. Building on his neglected advice from Episode 2, Lionel posits this would assist bridge the gap between the two ancient Valyrian houses. The visibly inebriated Viserys offers Lionel a pat on the shoulder as he walks away, suggesting bigger matters in save for the man who is not completely interested in elevating his station. Also see House of the Dragon Episode 2 review. Old makes way for the new Paddy Considine as King Viserys Targaryen. Emily Carey is Queen Alicent Hightower in House of the Dragon Episode 3 photo credit Gary Moyes. HBO's Viserys steps outside his younger spouse Alicent joins him, and for a short moment he breaks, though he's taken up and reiterated the public position that Rhaenyra will be his inheritor. He reprimands Jason Lannister for assuming that Aegon would take her place and strongly notes that he did not pick out his daughter on a whim. Viserys confesses to Alicent that it was once at a time of weakness when he had lost everything. What if I used to be wrong? Viserys wonders to himself later in House of the Dragon Episode 3 as he swears to Rhaenyra that she might not be supplanted. The king admits that he wavered at one time. Still, Viserys has genuinely given Alicent ammunition for later, I would possibly argue, and Alicent has a stake in it too, as her father Otto points out on House of the Dragon Episode 3. If Rhaenyra receives on the throne, it's no longer going to be a fantastic existence for the challenger Aegon and his mother. Alicent's motive, or instead Otto's for now, is helped with the aid of the reality that all people round Viserys either assumes or expects him to identify Aegon as his inheritor rather than alter, but Viserys really wishes to stick by using his choice, while Rhaenyra felt he was spurning Daemon and now not choosing her. As she confided to Alicent on Episode 2, it now seems she was once incorrect to suppose so of her father. Viserys even cares for Rhaenyra's happiness, as he first tells Otto before reiterating in as many phrases to the daughter everything it's been happening all episode. In second of his name, the widening gap between the king and his heir comes to the fore as Rhaenyra walks in and confronts her father just as he is sending off men to help Daemon and Corlys in the Stepstones. On the queen's advice, Rhaenyra believes that Viserys needs to marry her off for a watchtower or a fleet of ships. The king notes that he desires her to marry to shore up her succession, but when Rhaenyra factors out that he didn't remarry for advantage, Viserys admits it earlier than telling her to seek her very own man out, the man or woman who will hold you comfortable and give a boost to your claim. In that moment, the broken bridge between father and daughter is apparently restored on House of the Dragon Episode 3. A smiling Rhaenyra, comforted with the aid of the fact that the king is no longer going to replace her and cares for how she feels, walks away. Also see Everything You Need to Know About House of the Dragon. Will Johnson as Sir Vaymond Velaryon, Matt Smith as Daemon Targaryen, Theonate as Laenor Velaryon in House of the Dragon Episode 3 photo credit Ollie Upton. HBO. Speaking of strengthening one's claim, the last area of House of the Dragon Episode 3 is dedicated to Daemon. Matt Smith. It's been 3 years seeing that the troubles in the Stepstones began. Daemon, the rogue prince, has been laying siege to the crab feeder with the assist of his dragon Caraxes. However, the caves are preserving them safe. What started as and strive to make Daemon seem useful in the eyes of Westeros lords is beginning to seem to be like a failure. On top of that, Viserys' meager helping hand comes as an affront to Daemon. He desired this war to stand as his own victory and not something that the crown could claim for itself with Troop morale at a low. Daemon's new method, first introduced up with the aid of the bickering Velarion's, is to capitulation himself to the crab feeder Daniel Scott Smith on House of the Dragon. Episode 3. The disfigured Prince Admiral is aware of that this might be a tactic to get his men to leave the caves in a false experience of security. That's why he watches for dragon movement before ordering his troops to deliver in Demon, but he didn't wait lengthy enough, it seems, just as the crab feeder feared Caraxes indicates up at the very ultimate minute with a Velaryon riding it with the assist of the dragon and the Westerosi forces. The crab feeder's guys are laid to waste before he himself can pay the final price at Daemon's hands. The rogue prince may additionally have conquered an enemy in battle. However, how will he deal with the twin threats of the heir and the firstborn son? House of the Dragon Episode 3 is now streaming on Disney+ Hotstar in India and HBO Max. At any place available. New episodes release every Monday at 6:30 a.m. IST, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.